Well, as we go through the weekend coming up, a mainly dry weekend, a little hotter and maybe a little windier at times tomorrow. Highs back in the 90s in most areas tomorrow. The wind's not getting super windy, but may gust up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour or so in spots in the afternoon hours. As we go into next week, maybe a little hotter still, especially late next week, and a small rain chance may reappear. Slim chance you might see one shower somewhere on Sunday, but maybe a couple of sea breeze showers briefly around by Monday and Tuesday, but it looks like overall a lot of places will stay dry all the way through next week coming up. Temperatures right now at 92 in Harlingen and in Raymondville, 101 in Rio Grande City, 96 in McAllen. I think temperatures probably at about this level or a degree or two hotter by tomorrow and Sunday, but a lot of places in the 90s most of the afternoon if you're going to be outdoors the next few days. You feel the humidity, it's kind of coming up again. Yesterday when I showed you this map, I think the heat index was kind of like 93, 94 on average. Now it's coming back up with the heat index right now feeling about 100 or so, even 107 in Rio Grande City. As the humidity rises slowly, it will feel a little hotter each of the next few afternoons, and it won't cool off quite as much at night, but still pretty typical late June stuff coming. Breeze is increasing a little bit today. Sustained winds around 15 to almost 20 miles per hour, but may add on a few gusts tomorrow. Like I said, 30 or 35 miles per hour as the winds pick up a little bit more, especially in parts of Hidalgo and then toward the coast in Willacy and Cameron County. So your day on Saturday, and this is pretty much true for Sunday, mostly sunny when you wake up. Light breezes, temperatures already in the low 80s in most areas by 8 a.m., 90s by midday, and then 90s through the afternoon. Getting a little breezier, somewhat on the windy side, especially I think later in the day. I think the windiest time of the day, probably late in the afternoon. And so highs tomorrow could be right around 100 or so in Starr County, near 99 in San Ysidro, 102 in Roma, about 98 in Edinburgh and McAllen, 96 in Weslaco, and mainly 90s in Cameron and Willacy counties, except for right at the coast where it stays in the 80s at South Padre Island. So if you are traveling around Texas, we'll show you the travel forecast, but a few showers and storms in West Texas earlier today. There are a few more likely to blow up there this evening, but nothing able to get much farther east. So our chances of seeing any significant rain or storms, anything big, getting in here are very small for a while. There are a few big storms far to the north, western Kansas, eastern Colorado, with storms coming out of the Rockies, but all that action and activity passing by way to the north this weekend. Now, Future Track does show a front which came through and brought the rain earlier in the week is now passing by back to the north, and as it moves away, the humidity and the temperatures increasing from the south and getting a little bit windy at times here on Saturday afternoon, and even a bit breezy into Sunday. I think Sunday the winds may not be quite as gusty in the afternoon. Instead of maybe 30 or 35 miles per hour, maybe more like 25 to 30 miles per hour. So not a big difference between Saturday and Sunday. If you are headed way to the north, there could be a few showers and storms in mainly North Texas, but most of the state is looking pretty quiet anywhere you're driving within 5 or 6 hours of the valley this weekend for Father's Day weekend. And some big storms, though, could reach North Texas by late Sunday night, Monday, closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you are traveling Laredo this weekend, near 102 both Saturday and Sunday with dry weather. Corpus Christi, a small chance of maybe an afternoon shower or storm with the sea breeze on Sunday, but primarily dry weather. Same thing for San Antonio, mainly dry and hot with temperatures in the 90s and small chances of a daytime shower or storm in Houston as well. If you are cooling off at the coast, highs mainly in the 80s Saturday and Sunday. A little breezy at the coast at times, but really no chance for rain there at the island. So your first 1-5 AccuWeather 7-day forecast, 90s and more 90s for a while. Generally, it ranges from the upper 80s at the coast to near 100 in Starr County this weekend. A little breezy or somewhat windy. There could be about a 10% chance of a sea breeze shower centered around Monday and Tuesday. And then after that, if anything, it gets a little bit hotter with a lot more areas near 100 degrees. Just in time for the first day of summer a week from now, next Friday. We'll keep tracking your first 1-5 forecast throughout the evening.